Hello everyone, I'm Kaluna Spitfire and I'm a variety streamer on Twitch. My main game to stream is 7 Days to Die, and I do a lot of videos here on YouTube on using and modding the Twitch integration built into the game. In today's video, I'll be going over the key features of the Twitch integration for Alpha 21, including setup, common questions, customization options built into the integration, and of course chat commands for you or your mods to use. If you've used the integration in A20, a lot has improved and many new features have been added. If you have never used the integration before, this alpha is a fantastic time to consider using it to increase interaction with your chat while streaming 7 days. I've linked the comprehensive guide written by the developers in the description below for your reference, and will include many concept time codes in the description as well, so you can easily find the information that you're looking for. If you find this video helpful, consider subscribing to the channel for more 7 Days to Die content. Let's dig in. So the very first thing you want to do to set up your integration is you're going to go and just hit escape when you're in your game. Options, Twitch, login Twitch. Now this is all the same if you played in A20. It's going to open up another thing on a different screen or on the same screen to give permission to go attached to Twitch. And then it's going to, when you're all done, say it's connected to your Twitch. Once you've done that, you are going to want to hook into the integration on your extensions, which is going to be on your creator dashboard. Go to extensions. When you go to discovery, you're going to type in 7 days. Now I have 2 on mine because I also did the testing for the extension. You should only have 1, but if it says version 1.01, don't use that one. Use this one. I already have mine added, but you would add yours here. Then go to my extensions. You would of course add it to a panel, as I've done here, and go to manage permissions. Once there, you're going to make sure this is purple and is checked. If you don't want to use bit items on the extension, you can always turn them off manually. Once that's done, you can go back into your Twitch settings, and we're going to start with integration type. Now, if you've played on A20, chat only is the one that you're used to. It's where people need to type in chat in order to spawn things. Extension only would be to use only the extension that you added to your panels. It does work on mobile, so if that's a concern, it does work on mobile. Or you could use both, have people able to type in chat or use the extension. I do recommend using the extension because a lot of people with disabilities or things like that really do find using the extension to be significantly easier, and it stops this gap of not being able to participate and allowing it to be shared with everyone. The next thing you're going to want to look at is the action presets. The last day of Streamer Weekend, I played on hardcore settings. Usually you're going to start on standard. And this is what you're probably used to for A20. It's pretty evenly balanced between gifts and spawns. And for the events like subs, bits, channel points, it's evenly split between some things being a gift and some things being a spawn. If you go to casual, this would be for somebody who is either newer to the game, wanting a more casual experience, or maybe you're a farmer or a builder or something like that, but you still want to integrate with your chat. There's a lot of people who play this game largely for building, but if you want to use integration at the same time as that, you can consider using casual and let your chat help you build and help you get supplies and things like that, so that the rest of the game is easier while you focus on building. This would be one way that your chat could use integration in that way. Hardcore for things would be mostly spawns and less gifts. In fact, some gifts stop being available, like supply weapon, which really impact your game, especially at the beginning. So consider this carefully when you choose to do this. This is very difficult. Most things are really mean spawns, lots of things that really do hit hard. So consider this carefully, but it can be a lot of fun with your chat. And of course, you can have the actions, the normal actions that are available be standard, but maybe votes and events be hardcore. And that's totally up to you. Progression. So for people who have played A20, you might know what this is already, but progression is basically where it takes your game stage into account to see what it would allow chat to do. So based on your game stage, it will give you that appropriate level of weapons, but also appropriate level of zombies. So they're not going to give you a demo on day 1. However, if you turn this off and you say no to progression, everything is available to them on day 1 or whatever day you decide to turn progression off. This means that they have access to every single spawn, no matter the game stage you are currently in, as well as every single gift. Global cooldown is where you fill up a bar to have a main cooldown and a break. Default cooldown, I believe, is 5 minutes. A shorter one would be, I think, 3. No cooldown, obviously, nothing. And then a longer cooldown, I believe, is 10 minutes. And always cooldown, meaning they don't get to spawn anything on you. But maybe when you want to put it on cooldown for a little bit while you build something, but you want people to still get points so that when you are done building something, you can turn it back on. This would be the thing that I would say would be used for always cooldown. And then whenever you're done, okay, we're going to go back to default and now you guys can spawn things. It could also be that you just want only gifts. So during cooldown, only nice things are allowed. So I could see that being used as well. Allow crate stealing. This is if you want party members to be able to open each other's crates. This can sometimes be useful. I almost always turn it on because for some reason there's always somebody who's not with the party because they're out doing something else. When a vote drops some boxes or something like that and their name is on one of them basically, and you can't open it and it just sits in the middle of nowhere and they can never find it. So this is why I just put yes. I try not to open each other's boxes, but of course, accidents happen. It can also bring some hilarity. Spam delay. This is for people in your chat who tend to spam actions and they're sitting there holding, clicking the button over and over and over and over again, and kind of not letting other people do those actions on occasion. This is much, much better with the extension because it kind of forces a delay on people, which is really convenient. You don't really need this as much, I think, with the extension, but you definitely want it if you're using chat commands because this delay really does slow people who are spammers. Now we're going to get into some customization options for you. We're going to go to Actions tab on Twitch settings. So if you want chat to be able to spawn things on you during a blood moon, you're going to put it to standard because that's allowing them to use everything that's normally available to them. However, cooldown only are only nice things during blood moon, or disabled means they can't do anything during blood moon. So those are your options. Actions during quests are exactly the same. Do you want your chat to be able to spawn on you while you're doing a quest? It will automatically put things into cooldown until you finish a quest. If you do cooldown only, it'll only be able to do nice things. And same thing for disabled. Standard allows them to spawn things on you, no matter if you're doing a quest or not. Bit prices. Now this one affects most of the things that are for bits on the extension. If you do 75%, it's like getting a 25% discount, 50% discount, and 75% discount. What do you want the prices to be for overall the bit things in your channel? However, this overall bit price thing does not change the price of really, really big, mean options like destroying your workbench. Some of these are optionals that we'll turn on. I'll show you how to do later. But like destroying your workbench, destroying your base, things like that are not affected by these price changes. These are just the normal spawn things that are affected by this, things that are less detrimental. So if you wanted to do a discount day, this is where you would easily do it and just at the click of a button. Next, we're going to move into the vote tab on the settings. So votes. So if you have votes going, however many votes you have, you can choose to have them as few as 1 per day or as many as 12. They have an average on 4. Otherwise, if you have too much more than 4, you're going to realize that you get a lot of votes per day, but that might be what you're looking to do. Perhaps you want to do mostly votes, then up this number. Okay, and that's how you're going to get that to happen. And then chat will have less chances to spawn on you during a vote. So this acts kind of like a cooldown. Vote time is how many seconds they have in order to place their vote, and you can of course make that go up or down. And vote daytime range. Are you going to do it for the longest part of the day, starting at 4 a.m. and going until 9 p.m.? Are you going to do all day and night? Are you going to do an average day starting at 6 and ending at 7? A short day starting at 8 and ending at 5? Now, if chat gets you with one of the attack votes, or if chat gets you with a boss vote, this is how much points everyone in chat who voted for anything is going to get. So if you die to one of these things, they get this. You can put it up pretty high. If you are really good at not dying, maybe you want to do this. Maybe you want a really big reward for your chat if that does happen, or you can put it pretty low to nothing. Maybe they get nothing. Votes during a blood moon. So this is allowing these votes to still happen during a blood moon. Obviously, they won't happen during a blood moon if you have a daytime option going. It would be the all-day one. Perhaps you want votes to still be available. Votes during quests. Do you want the votes to still happen while you're inside of a quest? Votes in a safe zone. Again, that would be at the trader or your home. Any safe zone that has been placed using a claim block will act as a safe zone where people can't spawn on you. Do you want the votes to still be able to happen in that section or not? Then we're going to go to events. So this is where you can choose to turn on or off events for all of these things. Now they, of course, as we said before, will change based on your difficulty settings, your preset settings, casual, standard, or hardcore. However, you can just simply turn them off. If you don't want anything to happen for these events in your channel, you have something else you want to do instead, or whatever, you can turn them off. Or maybe you only want them for hype trains, or maybe you only want them for channel points. That is completely customizable like this right from here. And then points. This first line, viewer starting points, is how many points a first-time viewer or a person who has just entered for the first time in watching this particular game of 7 Days to Die with you, the first time they chat in your chat during this time when integration is on, this is how many points they will start with. You can turn it down to nothing, and you can turn it up to 500. And this is how many points per 10 seconds that they're going to get. Now, standard, so if you hover over it, it tells you what it is. If it's disabled, they don't get any free points. You must use bits in order to get points. Standard is 1 point per 10 seconds for 5 minutes. Double would be 2 points per 10 seconds for 5 minutes, and triple is 3 points per 10 seconds for 5 minutes. Subscribers, of course, get double whatever this is. So if you're a subscriber and you have it on standard, it's going to be 2 points per 10 seconds every 5 minutes. Helper reward. So this is for people who in your chat are the nice people who are always trying to help save you. There's oftentimes at least one person who never actually has points because they're spending all those points helping you, giving you nice things, or for saving your life when chat is trying to red rum you. And they never have points because they never win the Pimp Pot. And this is one way to combat that. You can set this, it's pretty easy to set. You can set it as low as 100 points and as low as 15 minutes. And the person who has done the most nice actions in that time frame that you have set will get whatever this reward is. So it's rewarding your nice, helpful players. And this is really good because they can't just cheat it in there and go, oh, I'll do like 10 nice things and then I'll do 100 mean things, because it counts in as a positive point how many nice things you did. So say you did 10 nice things and spawn a whole bunch of crates. Wonderful. But if you spawn 20 zombies in, that's going to actually equal to a -10 on the helpfulness scale. Then that is going to affect when it looks at who has been the most helpful. They may have spawned the most crates, the most nice things, but because they did mean things, it negates those nice things that they did. So this is really aimed towards the people who are spending most of their points being helpful, and it is a lot harder to manipulate and just get free points from those meaner players that just want to red rum you later. Bit points added. So normally on standard, bits that are given in your channel, so say somebody donates 300 bits, they would get 300 SP points added to their account to use. Double would mean that they would get 600. Triple would mean they would get 900. So how do you want to reward people who give bits in your channel? raid points. When somebody raids you, this goes to the raider, the main streamer, not each raider. And how many points do you want to give them for raiding your channel? This is a great way to encourage people to raid your channel, especially if they've also been playing the integration. It's a great connector for communities. And that means that the streamer can then come in and spawn some things on you and start their community to interact with yours. You can also set how many viewers they must have for this to happen. You can go as low as 1. I usually have mine set for 3 just because some people can raid at 1 viewer even if they weren't streaming. I have mine set to 3. You can go pretty high depending on the size raids you want to reward. And of course, you can make it so nobody gets any points when they raid. Now for subs and gift subs, each time somebody resubs, they're going to get points as well in SP. And I have mine set like this, but if you change these amounts, you will see exactly how much they're going to get per tier. So each tier is going to get a different amount. You can, of course, turn it off if you do not want it. And you can put it up pretty high where they're getting a ton of points to encourage people to sub or gift sub. Okay, now that we're done with the settings, it's time to hop into the game. But before we do so, I want to show you a really interesting place to find information and to make some of the optional things that I've mentioned before come into being. Over here, you're going to see extension only, or if you chose the Twitch both or chat commands, you can see some of the commands here. You're going to click the little cogwheel for Twitch info. You can also see action history here, pause your integration, and those are important pieces to know how to do. In here, you're going to see all the different actions. You can look them all up. You can search by type of action. But the one that we're going to talk about right here is actually the special actions. I have all of them turned on because I like playing with all of them. But when you first get here, you're going to see them all grayed out, which means they are not accessible to your chat. Your chat won't even know about them unless you turn them on. So when you click them, all you have to do is click enable and it will be turned on. Now, the same thing goes for something you might hate. Perhaps you don't like spoil. This is a very common one for people to turn off. And in A21, it was turned to be a bit cost item to try to avoid people from spoiling every 10 seconds and really frustrating streamers because a lot of streamers were just turning it off, which is totally understandable. Now it costs bits. At least you're getting a little compensation for your food going to waste. But you can easily disable actions right from here. Pretty much anything that's in the game, you can disable right from here. As well as you can find out information about a different action if you don't know what it does. So if you're going into something, let's find one, and that you might not know something. Say you don't know what no time is. That's a new one to the integration here. So you're going to click on it and you're going to find out that it moves time forward a small amount, then hides the day and time display for the target and their party. Now you have a basic understanding of what that particular action is, how long the cooldown is, how much it costs chat. All of these things is easily accessible to you here. Now, another really important place to look for this information is actually your action history. I'm going to actually put a clip of me doing this live on stream and refunding some points to people because you can refund points or you can cause the thing to occur again if it went off at a bad time or it didn't quite work the way that it really should have because of something or other. Maybe you took a break and it kind of ruined the thing that they spent bits on, and you can go ahead and refund or redo those actions. The other fun thing that you can do while in here is look at your leaderboard. And this tells you all of the people who have red rummed you in the entirety of the game and how many times they have done that. Now these leaderboard stats, as you see on my example here, are blank, which is interesting because I'm currently not live when I'm recording this video, which means that this is blank because we haven't started a new session, because these leaderboard stats on this side are session based. So for each session, you can see who is the top red rummer, the top good doer, the top evil doer, so good versus evil actions, and the best helper for the last 15 minutes, who's currently in the lead, who has spent the most bits, and then how many total bits. You can click to show that bit total. It is hidden for your protection in case that's a sensitive thing for your chat, you can click to show it, as well as total good and total bad actions, total actions, and the largest pimp pot you've ever had. So I know that's something that a lot of people want to remember. Oh my gosh, I can't remember how much we've had as the largest pimp pot. That is available to be seen on these leaderboard stats. So my current highest is actually where it is right now. And that is fun information for your chat to beat your next highest pimp pot. Okay, so for some really frequently asked questions, Pimp Pot is here at the top. This is what your chats win if they manage to murder you in the game. This is SP, of course, as described before, but when they manage to successfully murder you in the game, they win this. Now, in A21, there wasn't a change to this where it doesn't start you back at 0 when you die. It'll actually start at 500 SP so that if someone kills you again, almost immediately afterwards, they have something to win. So the Pimp Pot is never empty anymore. Now, safe zones. Safe zones are wherever you have placed a land claim block or the traders. Now, this does count for all the other people that have also placed land claim blocks. Those land claim blocks also work as safe zones. As you can see on the top of my extension component, it says safe because I am in my home. If I go to the trader, it will say the same thing. As for the extension, one of the most common questions you're going to get as the streamer is, I can't find the extension, where is it? Now, it is in 2 different locations depending on if you are on PC or mobile. If someone is on PC, this is kind of how it will look for them. Here's the chat, here would be your gameplay. They are going to scroll down until they see the panel here. What you can do is also talk to them about popping out the extension using this button. This is what is really useful. Another fun tool that you can do is you can copy this extension link, and you can actually make a command for it that goes into your chat to make it a little easier for people to access, because if they click on this as a link, it will open up just like this for them. As you can see, this is a lot easier for people to manipulate and understand than maybe even a panel might be, because then they don't have to scroll up and down and miss out on your gameplay, and this can be moved around the screen. There are also some extra features at the bottom of the extension here that your channel people might want to know about. This one tells about the stats that we had talked about before without you as the streamer needing to go in and show people. They can see at a glance who is the top killer, top good doer, top evil person, best helper in the last amount of time that you have set, and all of these pieces that you have set up. The cogwheel at the bottom also lets them see what your preset settings are, your difficulty rating is for the game itself, the cycle for hours it is, as well as the PP rate. Now, modded just means that you've changed something from the base settings, which we did in order to make things hardcore, and we added all the extra features. Even though this is technically not a modded game, because we changed some of those features, it does show up as modded. Now on mobile, I can't show it to you on the computer very easily, but I am going to pull up some screenshots to show you what it looks like on my mobile device so that you can explain it to your viewers a little bit more clearly. The icon for 7 Days to Die extension will show up at the top of chat, and it will be clickable, and when you click on it, it will open up and look very similar to the PC version. From there, they can click on things to their heart's content to let them spawn. And then if they click at the top of the button again, it will disappear and they can see chat again. Now, another common question is what happens if I'm co-streaming? And this is a big change from Alpha 20 to Alpha 21. When in Alpha 20, you had people co-streaming together, you could basically be in both people's streams and spawn on one person and really overwhelm them with like almost twice as many zombies or things coming at them. And in Alpha 21, that has been negated somewhat. If 2 people are streaming, they do get to play in the same party, and that's totally fine. And when one person has a vote, the other person will have it blocked so that spawns can't happen and vice versa. But the big change is that you can no longer spawn on another streamer. So if I'm in person A's chat, I cannot spawn on person B if they are also streaming. I can only spawn on person A or people who are not streaming. And vice versa, person B's stream cannot spawn on person A if they are streaming. Good versus bad spawns. The simple way to think of good versus bad spawns is that the good ones are blue and the red ones are bad in general. To find out more of what they do specifically, go ahead and look them up in the Twitch info panel like I showed before. You might be asked if people can vote using the extension, and the answer currently is no. That might be available in a future iteration of the extension, as this is the first time that the extension has been available to people. But currently, you must vote in chat, hashtag A, B, or C, whenever a vote appears. If you are new to the integration, you might not know the difference between a boss horde vote and an attack vote. And the biggest difference is the size and difficulty of these votes. An attack vote is simply going to be a horde of a bunch of zombies, somewhat normal. They will gradually get more difficult as you get up in game stage, but they are relatively easy to beat compared to boss horde votes. Those boss horde votes are significantly more challenging and have a lot more components to them that make them difficult. Another main component is that during an attack vote, viewers are able to still continue to spawn nice and mean things on you. During a boss horde vote, they cannot spawn anything mean to you, but they can also not help you. So this is a really big difference. For both boss horde votes and attack votes, your chat can earn rewards if you die to them. If you are using a server, you will need to have your Steam user ID number, and you need to set your permission level to 90 at the very least on your server in order to use the Twitch integration. If you want to have admin permissions, it's level 0. Pretty much any server place will help you with this, but you may need to ask them in chat. But I will also show you on the screen what those codes look like that you need to go into your config folder. A really common problem that you probably have to deal with in chat on occasion is someone coming in and saying, hey, the extension's not working for me. What's going on? If it is only that person that's experiencing that, just encourage them to refresh their screen, refresh their app, whatever that is, in order to see if that fixes the problem. 9 times out of 10, it does. If many people are experiencing the same problem, then you might need to exit your extension or exit the game entirely and refresh and relog back in, reconnect to the integration, and that usually fixes the problem. Keep in mind, it should say cooldown for people on the extension if you are in a cooldown, or the individual actions might be on cooldown themselves and they would be grayed out and unable to be clicked. Some people may also not realize you're in a safe zone, and that would be why they cannot access certain features. Now we have a lot of different commands that can be used by both chatters and anybody who's in chat, as well as things that are moderator or streamer only. So the first things I'm going to tell you about are the ones that are for everybody, which are things like CP, which is checkpoints. You can also write checkpoints. Another one that is very commonly used by lots of chatters is game stage. They want to know what game stage you're currently at. So GS is the shortened version of that. You can also write the full version out. Now the rest of these commands are moderator only. The first, probably most commonly used one, is set cooldown. So this changes the cooldown to however many seconds you want it to be. So if I do set cooldown 0, like I have typed here, it's going to turn the cooldown off. I can set cooldown to 120 seconds. And now things are not active for that time frame for 2 minutes. Another one that's really a new one to A21 is actually the ability for mods to help you pause and unpause your game. So say something really comes up and you're talking to your chat and you really should be pausing your integration and you forgot to. They can help you do that. The same thing happens to me all the time. I tend to forget to unpause my integration, and so my moderators can help unpause it for me. Another one that's really commonly used is adding PP and adding SP, or now adding credits, so bit credits. So you're going to start with add PP all as one section and then a space. And then you're going to put the name of the person, or you're going to write the word all. All will go to everybody who's chatted in your chat in the last 5 minutes. And then of course at the end, you're going to put the amount of points that you want to give. The same thing is true of SP. You're just going to change, instead of PP, you're going to write SP. Bit credit is something that you can add to somebody's. Now, this is meant to be used for if something's going wrong and you didn't remember to refund somebody or something like that, or you would like them to try something out for you, but they don't have the bits to spend or whatever. Or if maybe you wanted to give bit credit as a reward for some other action. For example, I've done it on my channel where if they donated to a charity of the month, they got bit credit as well, because I didn't want people to choose between donating to the charity or donating to me directly because of spawns. So I just told them that if they donated to charity, they got bit credit. And that is how I chose to go through that. And the way you do that is going to be add credit, and it works the same as the others. Be really careful with adding bit credit, because the things that they can do with bits are much more dangerous to you as a streamer. So them having bit credit makes it much harder for you. So just keep that in mind. Use them sparingly. Don't go crazy with this one. It's really not recommended, and I'm talking from somebody who loves to give PP and SP to my chat all the time. This one is one be a little cautious with. Now in A21, if you do not have your backpack already staying on you when you die, which is an option of course in the game, you will have the option to spawn near your backpack. So it's already kind of built into the game to help you go get your backpack. However, if you would like to spawn basically directly on top of your backpack, your moderators can help you do that. And that is #TP_backpack. Amazing command. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful to setting up and understanding the Twitch integration for 7 Days to Die for Alpha 21. There are so many new things to enjoy with your chat. So now that you know the basics, get out there and have some fun. Like and subscribe for more videos like this one, and check out some more of my videos where I show you how to mod the Twitch integration for custom spawns or events. See you in the next one.